field in the areas of allied health, health sciences.
Outstanding health science programs in nursing, surgical technology, dental hygiene, and emergency medical technology.
It's been an amazing program. It's a state-of-the-art facility
with over 200 degrees and accredited certifications.
Visit wcccd.edu. Register today.
Watch WHPR and TV 33 when you want, where you want, how you want. WHPR is now in your pocket. Download our free app by going to the App Store or Google Play and enter WHPR TV in the search engine. And there we are. You can download WHPR TV or radio. You heard about it. Now come be a part of it. Roku Detroit Worldwide. Approximately 8 million viewers.
How many worship you? Come on, get those hands in the air. I do worship you. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Okay. Alrighty. Welcome to the Community Shall Be Restored. I'm your host, Prophet Cedric Banks, along with
Prophetess Dinetta Banks.
And we have a tremendous show for you today. We have one of the leaders of the city of Detroit was doing an outstanding job in that office. And we'll be talking to them in just one moment. Pastor Dinetta, what are, to those who may be first-time viewers, what are some of the things that we have going on with the show here?
Well, we have some upcoming guests that are coming on the program. Upcoming, you have Tanya Allen, CEO of the Skillman Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
You have Detective Kenny Gardner. He's with the City of Detroit Police Department Homicide Unit.
Right.
Amen. And upcoming guests, you have State Representative Jewel Ware from District 2. But then you have prior guests. One of the prior guests you have.
Kush?
Well, she's county commissioner.
Okay.
So that's on the east side from where I am. But
Okay.
it's the same number.
Same number. Okay.
Okay. And then just last week, we had James Tate on the program. Sherry, he's the city councilman.
District number one. Right. James Tate, district number 1. Right.
My neighbor to the west.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm the middleman.
What else?
Amen. And also Sherry Gay Dagnago. She's also a state representative. And
What is she, District 8?
Is she
7?
District 8?
Teresa?
Over on the west
Eight.
side.
Okay.
Eight.
I know Teresa would know. District 8. Okay.
And that's over on the near west side.
Right.
West of Greenfield over in that area and south of Finkel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Amen.
lady.
And we also welcome you to come out to our church, the Heart of Jesus International Deliverance Church. It's located at 14111 East 7 Mile Road. It's located inside the Wild Center, and it's right behind Mike's Market on 7 Mile and Gratiot. Our service time is at 2 p.m., and we want you to come out and just be blessed of the Lord as you hear a powerful, dynamic word from our apostle, our prophet Banks. He flows mightily in the prophetic. He has a bullseye. Prophetic can take you back to your younger years. He can go to the past, the future, and present. Amen to God. Always a mighty word of transformation. Even in his preached word, it's a practical word that will help and equip you to just be successful in your Christian walk. So we welcome you to come out Sunday at 2 p.m. To the Heart of Jesus International Deliverance Church.
Some of the former guests we've had on the show, to those who may just be tuning in, and maybe for the first time, some of the former guests we've had.
Wow. Charlie Langton have been on the program. He has, with Fox 2 News, he's a news analyst. Mayor Mike Duggan have been on the program. We've also had
Lisa Howes.
Lisa Howes has been on the program, right?
Right.
There have been many more. There has been Michigan Black Slate has been on the program. We've also had so many others.
Kim Cockrell,
Ken
former
Cockrell
mayor.
Jr. Martha Reeves has been on the program.
Right. Former city councilwoman Sharon McPhail.
Yes, Sharon
She was
McPhail. has been on
Superintendent McPhail.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a
superintendent,
superintendent
right.
now.
Superintendent, right.
at Detroit Community Schools, right?
Mhm.
She's been on the program. Oh, wow. There's been so many others.
So many.
So
Okay, hey, let's get into our guest today. strong community leader, doing some great things. You know, we try to bring out the people who we know we got a very strong community audience out there here that show reaching 10 million people, and is mainly 80% community driven. And so we try to go out and bring these people to you who are in office and who are doing some great things, who we feel that's doing some great things. Today we have one of the leaders here in the city of Detroit, Mr. George Cushingberry, Pro-Tem of the Detroit City Council, District Number. All right, look at there, the phone's lit up. I was getting ready to get his name out.
Well,
District Number 2. What's his district?
2.
District Number 2, George Cushingberry. Detroit City Council Pro-Tem, District Number 2. Cush, welcome to the Community Shall Be Restored, my man.
thank you, brother. I appreciate being here, and I hope that we can continue to do some good works. You asked me what did I think was the best contributions. I think what I've tried to do since I've been there is to bring a sense of financial order. And the mayor always teases me because that's what I automatically get to. It seemed to me that our city needed a focus of us being on top of the finances of it, and I'm pleased to report that we ended the year with about a $67 million surplus now, and that's from the bankruptcy that was left over. And then it looks like by the time we close the books on the year that ended last June, that there'll be about a $40 million surplus. Many of you read that we found some money, but that was some painstaking work with my committee. When we first began our review of the budgets, we found these accounts that trustees held, you know, and you being in the church, you know what trustees are. And so we found these accounts at U.S. Bank, and we questioned Mr. Naglick, who's the deputy chief financial officer, and they painstakingly went through each account to find this bond money that the people had already voted for. And that was our two questions, because we had asked them early in 2014, well, what happened to the rest of the money that the people voted on to build a new center and some new police stations? Remember, we voted for that, and we voted to do some more work in Detroit on our recreation centers, and that's what that quote found money is. We also had an authorization, and I guess an account was set up where we sold bonds for deficit reduction. So now it's the process of making sure we dot all the I's and cross all the T's to make sure that we can then therefore use those funds for what the people voted for them for. In the case that we're looking at right now is the 6th precinct there at Grand River and 6 Mile will be completed this year. And we'll use some of it to finish the Southwest Detroit Recreation Center called the Kimony, and we'll continue to make the upgrades on some of our other important things. For those of you who don't know, I gave some names when I was on Holly's program, Brother Reverend, this morning, and I wanted to repeat them because some of my friends who watch this station regularly called me, and they were complaining there was no place for us to take our senior citizens, and I had to remind them that we have significantly reopened all of our recreation centers. So I was trying to give them east and west because the east side was jumping on me because I represent the west side, and we've been doing pretty good in terms of getting investment because I've concentrated on it. You've been on the Avenue of Fashion. You've seen what's been going on at the hospital and around it with the new restaurants, as well as all around the University of Detroit, and now the University of Detroit High School has built its new center.
We normally don't take calls. We're gonna take a call.
Okay.
How's that?
I'm fine.
Okay, let's take a call.
Don't let me forget to get a list of recreation centers that are open, though.
Okay. You're on the air, caller, with the Community Shall Be Restored, which hosts Prophet Cedric Banks. Hello?
Oh, it looks like they hung up.
Well, let me give the list. Of
We're
course,
here today with Detroit City Councilman Pro-Tem of the Detroit City Council District Number 2, George Cushingberry.
So, Rev, we have Northwest Activity Center on the west side, of course. I talk about it all the time because it's more than just a recreation center. There are programs for adults. There are all of our programs to get people employed. And we have so many jobs today. You need to come in and just spend the time for all the people that claim that there ain't no jobs. Get there by 8 o'clock. Fill out the form.
Where can they find these jobs at?
Well, you got to come at the Northwest Activity Center.
What days and times?
Monday through Friday, and you need to get there in the morning, and then you can come back after 1:30 because we have to take you through a series of questions and to understand how far we can place you. Now, if you need a GED, if you need health insurance, or if you need food. Because before I can get you employed, sometimes I have to make sure that you have these other things to be prepared to be employed. What we did was we combined the City of Detroit's program with the State of Michigan's program. Oh, so no longer do you have, when we were boys, you had to go 2 places to the unemployment office and all that. No, we've combined them all so that when you come in, you get the benefit of both programs. So we have a program for people who are what we call re-entering citizens who've been in prison and other places. We have a program for people who are over 50 that are getting back into the workplace. And we have 8,000 jobs that will be going out this summer for children, but we have jobs opening for adults all the time. You come in, you do the battery. If you don't have a computer, we'll help you finish that.
Let's try this call one more time.
Okay.
You're on the air with the Community Shall Be Restored with your host, Prophet Cedric Banks. How can we help you?
Yeah, well, I was concerned about some stuff that was going on in Flint, but this is not about Flint, is it?
No, we were talking about Detroit right now, but we can't.
If Cush do you want to talk a little bit about Flint, or
well,
are you open to that?
I am. I guess we were one of the first groups of people, Richard Clement and I, on our blog to scream about Flint because. We were that councilman up there, Councilman Mays, told him not to switch, and he hollered and screamed and not to switch. And then when they decided to go switch, that took all our water bills up because me and you had paid for it to get to Flint. All right, so the governor missed it. And this is what I was trying to tell people who always come up with this idea that if you just get somebody that got a lot of money and they ran a successful business, they'll understand government. They're two different things. Government is not a business. We work for the people. Right. We are public servants. We're not. This state of Michigan, this city of Detroit is not a business. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to have good administration. That's a difference between the way business it runs and the way the public's operations run. So he missed it. I fault it because he don't have a feel for the people, really. He's a businessman that was in what we call vulture capitalism. They go take a company, they break it, they strip the jobs, right? I mean, if you study his history, we knew exactly what he was. Number two, sometimes greed and avarice. See, when you get to the point where you greedy, I'm gonna go cut this money from them people down there. Mm-hmm. It can backfire too. Right. Sure. All right. And so it's a tragedy what's happened in Flint. Yes. Yes. And we will continue to work to help them succeed. We've sent a lot of water up there with our group at the city council, President Jones, and
let's try to move. We're going to try to move.
Yeah, but the question I was trying to raise is how is that helping the people in Flint?
That's a good question. How is sending the water helping them?
Now, the reason I raised this question, they got more water than they can drink.
Yes.
Now, we do know they living in a hazardous area. Ain't fitting for nothing. Now, I noticed that the mayor up there started to move on some projects on her own with what they call public money, which was donated through churches and other organizations.
And also some city money, some Flint money. She put some Flint money in it.
What this does, it more so supports John England than it does the people of Flint. He's responsible for that. When the private donors who donate through churches and organizations, give the money to Flint
Yes.
to do the work that the state's supposed to be doing. How is that helping the people in Flint?
Okay, thank you, caller. Let me see if I can deal with what we're trying to do. We know there's going to be at least $1 billion worth of fallout in this, and I think we wrote that there were 9,000 children that we knew had been exposed. President Obama has responded in the greatest way because he's such a great man, and he's made it a personal issue with the White House to try to help those poisoned kids, which means that we want to replace the lines. We want to put filters in 2 places, not just on where it comes out, but where it goes in. And there's a lot of research and work being done right now to come up with a way to filter the water right when it comes in at the intake so that we can make it better for those people who have to take showers. And that's what I have to give the building trades credit. 9,000 plumbers have shown up so far through their program in Flint. And as they continue to volunteer their time to help replace it, it'll become less of a crisis and more of a situation where those of us in this great region, because Detroit's a great giving city in the first place. That's what I was fussing about. You know, we've been giving. We sent the lines way up there. For you to double cross me like that and go build a new line and tell me you don't want to buy water from me after you done charge Grandma and them down here to build it up there, you set yourself up. But now let's finish this recreation center, because I hear you on your program talking about the need to do things for children and senior citizens. And I want the people of this region to know that in Detroit we have programs for jobs, number one. Y'all can quit that it ain't no jobs. It's more jobs than we get people that can fill. 2, we at Northwest Activity Center, there's free time for kids who come after school, even if they don't have money, to play in the gym and to use the pools. Senior citizens can learn how to swim. Phenomenal. The Red Cross will teach them how.
That's good.
And the children can too. The program, again, is paid for outside, so it doesn't have, it's just a nominal cost, maybe $2 or $3 per lesson or something. We have Zuma, we have all of the other kinds of activities in the basement. We got a reading program for the children. If you need to apply for weatherization grants or you need further information on the programs to fix up your house and others, you can get it there at Northwest Activity Center. Then just up the street at Linden and Myers is the Jack Adams Recreation Center. Again, heavy programs for seniors, connections at all of our recreation centers in the city to the area agency on aging, because we don't want any of our poor people sick and hungry. Right. And these programs, me and you, Bishop, we done already paid for them. Exactly. So we need to get our fair share of them for our seniors. So that's right up. That's going up Myers. Then when you come down at 12th, the Joseph Walker Center is back open down on 12th near Claremont. Same sorts of services that are available there. Then when you come over, Coleman Young is back open. So the Coleman Young Center. Then the East Side Butzel Center is open too, and we just finishing up the renovations of the Heilman. That other Southwest Detroit recreation center is, I think it's Kimney. It's also opening. And we'll.
Okay, you talking about Hillman?
Heilman. Heilman is up on the northeast side.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the one Kimney that's down off of Ford Street. We're rebuilding a brand new center there, and it'll be opening up sometimes this summer. So please don't tell people there ain't no way for us to take our seniors and our kids, because they're there, but we need to utilize our own. We need to make sure that we understand that you can't even be a good Bible scholar unless you can read. And we need, me and you, we grew up with grandmamas and aunties that taught us how to read in the Bible. It was a good tactic. If y'all want to do something in the community to make it a one village thing, teach children to read. I'm on my 11th school. Part of how I found out how bad the conditions had gotten in the school was reading to children. That's why we're now taking the city of Detroit's building inspectors in now for the first time. And we applaud the mayor for listening to us about that and to do it. And I'm not going to be all nicey about the money that the school district owes the city for the water bills and for the light, because I don't like what's happened to the school system. I think it's ridiculous for us not to pay school board members a salary so that they could be off work to be able to concentrate on it. And I do believe that we got to rein in and have one set of schools that's balanced, that's all over the city. We have to have an elected board. We knew before she retired, Judge Baxter talked about the elected board's ability to run the academics and how important that is, so that we have a flavor of our community in the academics. And then we got to make sure that we don't have 80 indictments of people in the business office. Look, y'all, if you're going to come work for us, you ain't going to make a whole lot of money. And if you looking to make a whole lot of money, don't come working. Don't come into government, either for the schools or for the city or for any level, thinking that you're going to get rich, because you do not get rich in public service. If you want to go rich, go to design something, Bishop, go create something in business, but don't, because our tolerance level for people who would dare, see, it ain't me and you that they got to worry about. When you steal from the children, you got to answer upstairs. And he always
he takes care of the children.
Yes, it's always going to be worse than anything that you and I could think of to do to you. Plus, we're going to put you in prison.
And then they go get you.
Yeah.
They go get you.
Yes, they go get you.
You messing with the kids.
That's the whole point. So you and I are on the same wavelength. We know that to have a viable Detroit, we've torn down now 7,000 structures. That's 15 times as many as they did when I first came to the office. We've corralled federal and state funds so that have just been missing, that we hadn't even been asking for. We've got an intelligent police chief and fire chief that are using the new things like the satellite and Google Earth and other things to pinpoint. And now we've reduced both the time for the EMS and the time for fire. And for the first time, we will be able to get a response from the police department when we see somebody breaking into the house next door. And that's the first
those are some tremendous achievements.
Those are the things that we have been concentrating on and trying to get done.
Because he used to take EMS over an hour at one time.
Those are the things that we've concentrated on putting your money in and making sure that we get everything. We're trying to make life easier for citizens of the city. Now, when you fill out your state income tax, you also be able to fill out your city income tax. So you ain't got to go to a separate form, go looking for it. You'll be able to put it all right online. So everything will follow a federal, state, and city, and you won't even have to come to us filing a form, because you'll be able to file it as a schedule on your state form.
Right.
We want to make life much simpler.
I got to ask you a question for the people out there. I talked to your colleague James Tate. Been on the show.
He and I have
Spivey.
Spivey.
Sheffield.
Good people.
I always ask them, because the people want to know this: where are they going to be? Where are they holding any events monthly where they can get their hands on you?
Well,
where can they find you at? And if you got any events going on, can they talk to you? Can they talk? Can they have a voice when they come out?
People they know me well enough that I'm over at the Northwest Activity Center.
When are you there?
All the time. I don't have a fixed schedule because of my controversial nature. And the number of threats that have come into me for years. So you won't have no fixed time that you can just come and see me. But the people in my district know that if you're looking for me, all you got to do is call down there and they'll tell you where I am.
Okay. Is there a number you can give out?
313-224-4535. 313-224-4535. But I spend a considerable amount of time, and if you want to meet me up in the neighborhood and chat, you can find me at Northwest Activity Center. Call Betty down there at 224-4535, and she'll tell you when I'm over there. But the reason
you are accessible to people can get their hands on you.
They do anyway. If I'm at the grocery store, I tell them I spend most of my life in churches and restaurants and bars, so they stop me everywhere I go because they know I'm that kind of person. I'm from 8 Mile, so in the projects, and once you stayed in public office for over 30 years, and I'm proud of that because Uncle Coleman and Del Rio and Dave Holmes and Jackie Vaughn, my teachers, were all 30-year men. And it really takes about this long to really know how to get things done. So I laugh about it.
You had some great mentors. Yeah.
Yes, and people, they know I'm that way.
Anybody ever tell you that you look a little bit like Coleman Young?
Well, yeah, I've heard that. Muhammad Ali. I think we all 3 grades of cousins, right? That's why I call him Uncle Coleman. He grew up in Black Bottom with my grandfather and my dad. They all were in the union movement together, and then my grandfather moved up to 8 Mile Road, but he took the Livernois bus down to Kelsey Hayes every day, and I never got to meet him. But that was in the 40s, and my dad and my uncles, they all participated in the labor movement, and I've continued. But I also wanted to say that you can find me every Sunday from 11 o'clock till about 2 over at the Northwest Unity Baptist Church, where Reverend Oscar King is pastor, located on the corner of Cherry Lawn and Ellsworth, where I serve as his chief assistant.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. What a great show today that we have had here today on The Community Shall Be Restored with George Cushingberry, Detroit City Councilman Pro-Tem. Gave out some tremendous resources today. I'm your host, Prophet Cedric Banks, along with. What did you think about the show today, Pastor Donetta?
Oh, I think it was great. Powerful information given out for the seniors, the children. Excellent. Money found. Couldn't be better than that.
All right. We're your host, Prophet Cedric Banks. We thank God today for Detroit City Councilman Pro-Tem George Cushingberry, District Number 2, for all the great resources that he's given out today. And we'll see you next Saturday at 2:30 p.m. right here on The Community Shall Be Restored.
I do. Let's say that again. Song says, I do. Oh, no, no, yes. I do. I do.
You're watching W33BY, Detroit, Highland Park, Michigan.